So 20 years ago, I was talking with a single mom of a little girl that just had a hard 4 years of life. Um, this little girl was 4 years old, and this mom had told me about her little girl just almost dying a couple of times, and life was just hard. And through conversation, she asked me if I would be willing to adopt her. And so there we begin. So let me tell you a little bit about the story leading up to and meeting our now number 5 child. So when this single mom asked me this question, I there was just something, my spirit like jumped up and leaped inside of me. Like I was like, wow, well, I would love that. Now, I was not looking to adopt. We had 4 kids. We fit perfectly in his truck, and it's like I just didn't, we didn't seek out to have another child. So, we just didn't. We were done. And so then this question, all of a sudden, it was like, yes, this is right. But see, I had to present it to my husband and then to my kids. So I told her, I said, let me talk to my family and I will get back to you. Now comes the fun part. So I talked with Ken and I told him about this story because I had not been telling him about, I'm talking to this single mom and she's having such a hard time and all that. So then I had to tell him the full story of, of what I know about this little girl and her mom and their life. And so I'm thinking he probably remembers that moment that I said, "What do you think about this?"
Yeah, I remember I was a little bit overwhelmed. I was like, it was just kind of out of nowhere. And, but the more I thought about it and grasped it, I knew that, you know, that this is something we could do. And we already had a lot of experience with Rhett because of our daughter. And after some discussion, after talking with all the kids, we decided that yeah, we would like to adopt the little girl. And she was a beautiful little girl. I've seen pictures of her, and I was like, she's just so beautiful, and she needs a good home, you know, and she needs a family. So that's what we did. We discussed it. We talked about it, and we came to the conclusion that yeah, we would try to adopt her. So I'll let my wife fill you in on the rest of it, but I was in agreement after some thinking. So yeah.
Mm. I'm sitting here trying to do the math. I think our oldest daughter with Rett syndrome was 17. I think
Mm,
she was 17 because this was 2006. 17. She was 17. So we had our oldest was 17 and our youngest was 8. He was 8.
yeah.
So we had 4 kids already. So then I said, well, we won't be doing this by ourselves because even though we'd be the parents, we have 3 out of 4 other kids that will be big sister and brothers to this little girl, and we'll have and we'll, not we'll have to, but will probably take part and help care for her in different ways because this is just different. It was a different kind of situation. So we got all the kids in the room, including Jessica, our oldest, and I told them, a shorter story, and said, "Look, there's this little girl, and I told her where she lived, and I said she needs a forever home, and she's a little bit like our Jessica, and she has Rett syndrome, and she has seizures, and she has challenges, and there's a lot going on in her little life that will require us to, you know, put a lot of focus on her and help her, grow and everything." So the kids took about, I don't know, was it 2.5 seconds or was it 3 seconds before
Uh,
they were in 100%
it was
agreement.
almost instantaneously, so it wasn't very much time.
Yeah,
But they seen the pictures of her also, and
yeah, I
they
did.
all fell in love with
Yeah,
her right off.
I did show them pictures, and I'll add those pictures to this video so you can see that little girl um, that we talking
Very
about.
beautiful.
Um, so it almost makes me cry because they are so they're just they were they're just the best siblings that anyone can have, especially special needs because they are
They grew up in it, so yeah,
yeah, they really don't look at people differently no matter what. They're really they're really super people. So anyway, so once I got 100% agreement from the whole family, I contacted this single mom again and I said, okay, um, we're all in agreement that this is what we were supposed to do. And so she told me to write. So basically, I wrote her a letter describing our family, every member, and describing our life, and then adding pictures. And I sent that to her. Um, it was this is probably one of those moments that just changed our life's direction. I mean, it was very important to our family. So anyway,
I was just going to say that there's a lot of things that you have to go through for adoption, but number one was our journey. She lived in Michigan and we lived in North Carolina, so it was a road trip with the family, and we all went up there and met her. But just going up there and the hours of driving and just thinking about the whole time thinking about meeting this little girl was just, when are we going to be there?
yeah,
Everybody was asking how long, because everybody was so excited to be able to meet her.
yeah.
So
I
that's
was a little bit afraid. I was afraid because what if she didn't like us? I don't know. I mean, not everything is perfect and not everything goes smoothly and not everything. I was just a little bit nervous. I was. But yeah, the drive was we had never been we just never been there, and we were reading road maps. That was the day of road maps. And
no GPS.
no, we didn't have GPS. We had road maps, and but we did have this single mom's phone number. So if we got into any trouble, we could call her. Um, so then the day came where we traveled, as Ken said, and we we got to the city, and I called her and I said, "Okay, we're in the city." That I said, "So now what?" So she gave us detailed directions. She might have stayed on the phone with me the whole time,
Yeah, I think she did.
and so we pulled up in front of the house, and you might not know this about me, but I sat there for a minute and I cried just for a second, not very long. There was tears. And then I thought, wait, what are we doing? Like, we're in a strange town. We don't know these people. You know, even though I've seen pictures, like I had all these things running through my mind. And if you know me, that's typical. I've got to run through the whole what ifs. And then this mom walks out the door, and and then everything calmed down. So we go into their home and we meet this little girl. She has no idea what's happening. She can't understand what's happening with us. Um, she just doesn't, she can't grasp anything. But I think she liked her guests, her visitors.
So yeah, we got there and we went in and we met the little girl. She was crawling and she'd just crawl right up to you and you know she really wanted interaction with us, and so we spent the night getting to know her and just everybody just fell in love with her from the get go. Um, my kids didn't even want to leave her; they wanted to take her right then, but there was process that we had to go through. This was just a meeting her and making sure everybody's on board and the mom talking to the mom and having some really good conversations and um, you know um, it went real well, and it was a good experience for all of us.
Yeah, it was. It went smoothly. It
Yeah,
it everything was just falling into place. Like we knew them
yeah,
for
yeah.
our whole life,
Yeah,
kind
they
of
were like
feeling.
family from the get go. You know.
Yeah. Um, the kids, went into her room and her bedroom, and and played with her, and they come out, and it was it was very it was very easy, and yeah, we it was it was very life changing. And when we went to leave, we were all emotional. Like we had already, I mean, we had already formed the bond that I'm so glad we didn't have to let go of, because we just love her. We loved everything about this little girl, and um, even her loud opinions. We loved her. So, um, but yes, we cried. My kids cried going home, traveling, and it was very hard to leave her because it's just hard to explain. So we can talk in the next video about the adoption process and how that went. But I just want to talk just for a moment about how this little girl came into our lives suddenly, and stole our hearts
Still has my
faster,
heart.
faster than I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
And adoption is a beautiful thing. It's very hard. It's hard in different areas. But the first part of this was easy. And so we'll talk more later on in a different video about what happened next. So thank you for watching. Please, if you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. I would love to continue to share our story with you. And by subscribing, you will get to see all of our videos. Well, I guess you can see them without subscribing, but I would really like for you to subscribe. We're creating a community um, based on our experiences as caregivers and our children's lives with disabilities and Rett syndrome and how that's changed everything. Anyways, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again in the next video.